9 o'clock on the dot. Thank you very much for joining us today. We're doing this live at 9 a.m. on a Saturday morning here in Phangar, Thailand, where I live. And to those people who thought I was dead, all I can say is reports of my death have been vastly exaggerated. And thanks very much to CPP M8V asking how you're doing, wishing you well. It's not like you not to post in 6 days. I have been very quiet this week, but it's simply because I've just been very busy. I've actually intended to do a podcast 3 or 4 days, but I just get caught up in just running the other business. So apologies that I haven't been doing as many programs as I should be, given that there are many things we should be talking about. But we are talking about foreigners behaving badly today. This is the theme of the program, and it was brought about by one particular message that was sent to me. I should also mention today that it's a music festival here in Thai Muang along the Turtle Beach, sort of just over the road from me and down a bit, about 100 metres. I was going to do the show from the music festival just to show you all the atmosphere, but the band struck up, and of course there's 2 volumes for Thai bands, Not Work and Too Loud. And this was Too Loud, and you would have heard plenty of the band and nothing of me. And let's face it, I am the star of the program. So let's get into this, and we're talking about foreigners behaving badly. I think I can do this whilst people are dropping in. I'm going to show you a bit of the setting up of the... here we go. This is the setting up of the... which is sort of a music festival as well as a coffee festival. Yes, they're going to have all the local coffee vendors are going to be down there, plus other people plying their trade with coffee and stuff. So they're still setting up. It kicks off sort of now and goes through till 6 tonight. Perfect day, just sunshine and a beautiful day. There will be a sea breeze, which will keep things nice and cool. And I think it's just about a perfect day for a coffee festival. Looks like they've got some toys, handcrafts. So we had the Turtle Festival last week, which is big, brash, noisy, dirty, and very, very, very noisy indeed. This time I've got a jazz band. I heard them sort of playing strains of Kenny, what's his name? Kenny G on the oboe. And it's a lot more stripped back, and I think sort of a more suitable event for this town. Certainly fits in with the scale. I don't think that we need to see that twice. So, I was going to do the program from there, but it's just the noise was, as I said, they got those 2 volumes. It's not working or too loud. Let me read you this message I got during the week. Welcome to everybody who's joined us live. For those people that are watching it after, yes, I'll be doing all the main subject matter up front. Then we'll be talking to our valued and people with very interesting opinions who have joined us online, and you can stick around for that or tune out after about 15-20 minutes. This came from, I think I better turn this up so I can read it a bit better, a new class act. If you need a passport to enter a country, there's always only one rule. It's not your country, says the writer. That said and done, a visa is an invitation to sit and drink tea while you visit, then go home, not a right. Not sure if many people come here to drink tea, unless you pay for the privilege to stay longer, at which you obey the house rules, or get out. And if the host changes their mind, in this case Thailand, then remember, it's not your country unless you're a citizen or naturally born. And that's from a new class act, and that was sent about 2 days ago, sort of out of nowhere, but somebody that wanted to express their thoughts. And it also goes on the back of a lot of this that you've been seeing, and I'll go back to this video, and plenty of headlines in, well, let's say the last, the last 6 months, even 12 months, we seem to be seeing a lot more of foreigners behaving badly. Let me show you what I mean. So we just see a lot of these. There are reasons for this, and some of these might be Thai people, but mostly these are foreigners. I sort of had a quick check and look. This one's particularly bad, and that you just don't do that to a Thai person. And these people, I think they're in the middle of they were not doing what you think they were doing. That man just peeing on the side of the road. You don't do that. Yeah, okay, some of the Thai taxi drivers might get out of their car and do it, but they're a little bit more discreet. So these are just, I'm just seeing thousands, no, that's an exaggeration, hundreds of these videos. And I think once you sort of watch one or two of them, then of course the algorithm's going to feed you with more and more of them. This lady's trying to steal your bag, or I think... I'm not exactly sure what was going on there, but it just doesn't look good to have these sort of videos being shown online to the world. A lot of these, I'm sad to report, are in one particular town, and we'll talk a bit about that as well. But I think that might just be a foreigner passed out, completely drunk. This one, more foreigners behaving badly, getting into a punch-up. And look, there are some nationalities that seem prominent in these reports, and otherwise, but I was just watching yesterday, just having a bit of doom scroll, and I don't know, I got into a spiral of these videos, hundreds of them, one after another. And I was checking the dates, and they were mostly within the last 12 months. Some of them as recent as the last week. So, you know where these are happening, and a lot of them start with P. This one in Patong, I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure that's Patong. But you'll know some of these locations, and you'll know the locations where some of these things are happening. Some police who are just arriving at a scene where some foreigners were having a bit of biffo. So I suppose the questions we got to ask today, is this actually becoming a problem? Or is social media, even me, exaggerating the problem? Who are the people who are involved with these problems? Is this actually a problem for Thailand and for tourists in general? And is this an existential threat to the 60-day visa-free policy? I've got hours of these, and I'm just showing you bits and pieces, and I just saved these very quickly this morning. But I literally have no shortage of videos of these foreigners behaving badly. It's even boring to really just keep on showing it. Those two foreigners sitting in the front, they're both wearing handcuffs. I don't exactly know what they did. I think we'll see a bit more of them in the future. They had a chance to have their say in the story. Here they are. You can see their... oh, okay, that one's disappeared. So now we've got some foreigner on the beach who apparently is drunk and needing some medical attention. And that's not a good look. I mean, it's not violence, but if you get to a stage where you're in a foreign country, this man throwing beer on everybody, that's not really helping the situation. At least you could throw some Veuve Clicquot champagne, sir. And this is that other incident, and you can see their handcuffs much more prominently, telling their version of the police, you don't point at ties. That's never going to work very well. Okay, so there you go. That's not really entertaining. In fact, I'm still watching it here on my iPad. There's more of them. I just scrolled through hundreds and hundreds of these videos. A few of them I'd recognised from the past, and some were indeed Thai people. But the vast majority were foreigners behaving badly. Now, it's not just, of course, in the Instagram and video field. A lot of this is published and becomes news. So we get bad behaviour, overcrowded streets. In Asia, Asia's travel hotspots, Thailand would be included in that, over-tourism is creating European-style problems. Korean tourists erupt in wild brawl in Pattaya barbecue spot, glasses fly, fists thrown, chaos turns to dance party. Chaos turns to dance party. Okay, there you go. Thai police chief vows crackdown on ruly expats. Israeli tourist kicks up a stink over shoe rule, plays victim. I think that one was spending a lot of time in the news at the time. Farang behaving badly. This from the Times of Israel, reporting about their own tourists as war-weary Israeli reservists head to Thailand. Poor behaviour could spoil relations. This one from the Business Standard, Brit, 48, arrested for dealing Class A drugs. Not a good idea in Thailand, as cops crack down on foreigners behaving badly in Thailand. Pattaya police chief vows revoking visas of badly behaving foreigners. Foreigners sought after dodging fuel bill in Koh Lanta. So there you go. It's all over the media. It's in the news headlines you read. It's in the video feeds. It's on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and we're seeing a lot of it. So let's just go and strip back the problem a bit, because it is being amplified by the algorithms in social media. And 20 years ago, we didn't have this phenomena of people being able to point their cameras or their phones at a situation and get very sharp pictures, even in poor lighting, and then being able to go bang, 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 and posting it onto a platform where millions of people can watch it. Even 10 years ago, it was sort of an issue, but now I think it's ubiquitous. And it's not just Thailand, it's other countries. But let's strip back and have a look at these statistics and see that maybe it's not quite as bad as people might think. Well, that's usually the case, isn't it? Yes, I will be referring to my notes. So back in 2000... time for a... well, it's not coffee, it's actually just water. But I will be going to the Coffee and Music Festival in Phang sometime today. Just over the road here in Thai Muang. If you want to look it up in Google, spelled Thai, Thai. Muang is Mueang. A lot of vowels in a row. Mueang. Thai Muang. Sort of learnt to say it over the past 3 years. I think I get a pass mark these days. Good morning to everybody online. I will be getting to all your comments. I do try to read them all, positive, negative, whatever you've got to say, and we can get into other issues later if you want to as well. But I will start, as I said, by talking about this issue. By the way, you can also stay at Thai Muang at beach, beachhousethailand.com. You can see our 6 beach houses we have available. Pretty busy until the end of April, then it sort of slows down, and we've got 30% discount right throughout what we're calling the quiet season, which is the season when we have the monsoon here. So 30% discount on all our beach houses, beachhousethailand.com. Got the ad out of the way. So back in 2019, Thailand peaked at some nearly 40 million tourists. Now then we had COVID, and the numbers struggled for a while. In 2023 we had 20 million tourists. Then last year we had 34 million tourists. This year they are aiming for 37, but because of what's happening at the moment with geopolitics, that could impact Thailand's tourism industry massively, or not much at all. We really don't know at the moment. Depends if this conflict continues for a while. Looks like it will. And it's obviously impacting anybody who's booked a fare from Europe through the Middle East, through those Middle Eastern airlines, which are all excellent, and then that link to Thailand. So they have been severely disrupted. The busiest airport in the world, Dubai, now I think down to about 10 or 20% of its flight traffic. If you're coming direct from Europe, it's not affecting you, even though a lot of those airlines are having to reroute around the Iranian airspace and Middle Eastern airspace generally, and people coming, of course, from some of the Asian destinations, from Australia, from the US, coming west, then you're not affected either. So we're looking at the numbers of these incidents versus the number of tourists. And foreigners arrested in Thailand last year, deported, that number is, it's in the high hundreds. So we're talking, if you want to compare high hundreds or even 1,000 to some 33, 34 million, it's a lot fewer than 1%. But of course, we are seeing it exaggerated on social media. Now, the crimes that foreigners are committing and that is getting them deported is not necessarily those incidents you see. Most of the crimes are visa overstays, working illegally, drug offences, drunk driving, and public disorder and fights is number 5 on that list. So it's not the most frequent reason for people being deported from Thailand. You are going to be in particular trouble if you do hit a Thai or a Thai policeman, but some of those incidents are worked out by the police. Some apologies are given, some compensation is paid, and everybody goes about their way. Some people kept overnight in a cell. They sober up overnight, and they're not feeling quite so brave in the morning, and things are sorted out. Now, last year in Phuket, as an example, there were 998 foreigners deported. Is this Phuket or Thailand? This is Phuket. Okay, so we might be talking high hundreds just in Phuket. So it might be in the thousands for the people deported. There were 194 visas revoked. This is the problem when you've got statistics and trying to compare them. Many cases were linked to drugs and illegal work, not necessarily to these incidents that you see on social media. There's nothing very sexy about pointing a camera at somebody having their visa revoked. So it's these incidents, usually at night time, usually involving drugs or alcohol, that is sort of getting the limelight. Let's go to these hotspots where these incidents are happening. You put a whole lot of foreign tourists in one location, that's where you're going to start seeing some of these incidents. So, of course, it's the P's, it's Phuket, Patong, it's Pattaya, it's Patpong in Bangkok, Soy Cowboy, which doesn't start with a P, or Soy Nana, Pai up in the north of Thailand. A lot of foreigners congregate there, sometimes enjoying different herbs or alcohol to an excess and getting themselves in trouble. And another P, sort of, Kopangan, certainly punches above its weight for a location where foreigners seem to get into trouble. Illegal work itself is a much bigger problem than the other types of crime in Thailand. Back in 2023, how many illegal workers were found in Thailand? 42,520, of which 1,360 were prosecuted. But at the same time, these are foreigners, but in most cases these are from Myanmar, Cambodia and Laos. A lot fewer would be regarded as tourists that were working illegally. But still a lot of foreign tourists were caught doing these activities. But as we've seen, it's way, way, way below 1% of the tourists. So the social media amplification is a big issue in this. And one dramatic video, they upload it and suddenly a few people are watching it. Then the algorithm starts promoting it. The Thai media get hold of it. The foreign media get hold of it. They want clicks, so they promote the issue and sometimes inflame the situation by, in many cases, inventing what the situation was, which could be sometimes vastly exaggerated on what was actually happening. Then the social media outrage starts. People going, oh, this is dreadful. Oh, it's always the British. Oh, it's always the Indians. Oh, it's always the Chinese. And on it goes. You could put in any nationality in that sentence because people just love picking on other nationalities. Just seems to be encoded in some people's DNA. And then after all that social media outrage, and some of that exists at the moment, there is like trending visa free or foreigners get out. These are hashtags that are trending. A lot of Thais fed up with having to scroll through these videos when they'd rather be watching cat videos or outtakes from some of their favourite soaps. So the Thais are certainly reacting to this, and of course they love getting involved in a little bit of outrage, as does a lot of other people as well. But what that happens then is the Thai politicians start to get pressure on them to do something about it. And so what started as just somebody innocently shooting a few foreigners having a bit of biffo with their punches probably missing, but somebody ending up on the ground in a scuffle, that ends up with government officials being forced to react. And one of the easiest ways to react is by threatening the 60-day visa exemption with a reduction back to 30 days. Now, since this was mooted nearly 2 months ago, I have not seen any of the government officials, any of the caretaker ministers. We're still in a caretaker government situation. That will probably change this week. Maybe it will come to the fore. Maybe it will be brought up by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or the Tourism Ministry or the immigration through the police, and we might see a change. But at the moment, we've still got 60-day visa exemption here in Thailand. But it all starts with somebody pointing a camera at one of these incidents. So why is this visa-free debate happening? Well, mainly because there are so many people spending so much time going scroll, scroll, scroll. And if it's anything like my example yesterday, my experience was I started watching a few of these videos, then the algorithm started giving me hundreds, one after another, with an ad in between, of foreigners behaving badly in Thailand, such that I really didn't want to see any more. So the other statistical reality is that tourists are often the victims in some of these situations. Many problems involving foreigners are accidents or victimisations. Foreigners ending up on the bad side of a scam or getting involved in some sort of accident, and this makes the media as well, and just gives the people who are pushing the line of foreigners behaving badly or visa-free or hashtag visa-free, foreigners get out. But there are things like motorcycle crashes. People, foreign tourists, they come here to Thailand and in some cases they've never been on a motorbike before. I know I arrived here in Thailand and I'd never been on a motorbike. I was in my early 50s. Yeah, early 50s. Never been on a motorbike, and I think I'd been here for 24 hours and I went out and bought a motorbike. I've had one accident, and you only need one to remind you how dangerous it can be, even falling over at very slow speed. You get a bit of gravel rush, and that certainly hurts, and in my case, left quite a scar. Things like drownings as well. I mean, they're prominent, but it sort of feeds into this foreigners coming here and causing trouble. Oh, our lifeguards had to go and drag them back into the beach. They weren't obeying what we were telling them to do. Things like medical emergencies. Well, this happens around the world, of course, where there are going to be medical emergencies. But in some cases, the foreigners have brought these medical emergencies upon themselves. And again, it just doesn't look good. And then, of course, there's the scams that are targeting tourists, and the foreigners scream out loud, "I've been scammed," and then they end up going to the police, and that just makes, well, everybody feel bad about going to Thailand. None of these things, none of these exaggerations, none of this systematic feeding of the algorithm does anything to enhance the vision of tourists coming to Thailand. Where in fact, I mean, I've had now, after 3 years, some 240 guests pass through the doors of my beach houses. I haven't had one incident which could be called a criminal situation. Could be, I've had some, make a bit of noise late in the night, but we've reacted to that and they've reacted well. We've had a couple of people leave a bit of a mess, but nothing which you could call criminal, nothing where I've felt in any way that we've needed to call the police. So anyway, that's sort of my thesis on the matter. The way I see it is that it's been vastly exaggerated, but it is one of those topics people love to talk about. They either love to jump on the immigration bandwagon, these foreigners causing problems, kick them out of Thailand. Or you've got the issue of, it's all one particular nationality and people jumping on this sort of racist bandwagon. Or it's just all foreigners are coming to Thailand and they're all getting caught up in fights. That statistically is just not the case. We're talking of generally much fewer than 1% of foreigners coming to Thailand. Having said all that, now time for you to get involved, and we'll go to your comments. Comment from Bryce. Can't see that they'll now change the 60-day visa exemption back to 30 days. I was going to mention this. Well said. With fuel costs and airfares going up everywhere, they'll be thinking they'll need all the tourists they can get. Yes, Thailand is suffering a small drop in tourist numbers, but we're sort of getting into March when there'd be a small drop of tourist numbers anyway. But it is certainly being exacerbated by it's less than 10% of foreigners that are having their travel plans interrupted. We haven't had, touch wood, a cancellation yet. To be a cancellation involved with a flight not being able to get to the country. We might have that soon. Thanks, Bryce. So let's go to your comments. This is from Dildo Baggins. Somebody complaining about his names. Dildo Baggins, you need to change your name because I can't find the comment, but there was somebody in the comments section complaining about your name, so you better change it. Just back from a run around Benjikati Park in Bangkok, one foreigner with his top off stopped by the park guards and just ran away from them. It wasn't even warm, to be honest. Yeah, look, in Thailand, just running around with your top off is not seen as a good look. I think if you're jogging around a park, you might have a bit of a get out of jail free card there. But and on a beach, okay, you're going to see the guys walking around with their tops off. That's okay. But you don't walk around the tourist streets. You don't walk into restaurants with your top off. I'll be talking about this more with Steve tomorrow. Okay, we've got Misty Hill. It's simple. The Western attitude of me first is exported when they go overseas. These folks know who they are and will react loudly and badly to this statement. I asked Misty, I think he responded later, is this worse now than in the past? So this me first, I mean, Western culture is generally an individualist culture, and it's become more so, say, over the last century. And I think social media even amplifies that me first sort of culture. Asian cultures generally are much more collectivist and less individualistic. And so I think you find less of this me first attitude in a lot of Asians travelling and Asian travellers. But it's deeply rooted in sort of cultural history. But I think social media will, in some cases, change those behaviours. Social media is the amplifier, says Mr. Baggins. I'll call you Mr. Baggins. I don't want to offend the other person who doesn't like the word dildo. Influencers, not all good, attract like-minded folk with no self-awareness or global mindset. Behaviour is easily caught on camera nowadays. Look, there are some influencers who are gaining a lot of traction at the moment and becoming popular as us old folks are sort of going out the back door. Some of these new influencers are not necessarily acting in Thailand's best interests, in my point of view. There's one I've had to react to. He's been putting out videos most days, and I'm finding myself inclined to being the sort of the grumpy old man, the grumpy old fact checker, and I hate doing that. I really do. It's just not my sort of vibe. But he's just promoting bullshit, misinformation, and trying to provide like visa information or trying to explain why the Thai government is doing this or that. Now, I'm not exactly sure where he's getting his information or whether he's just sort of inventing some of the answers, but these are sort of systemic problems with both social media and people coming to Thailand, spending 5 minutes and thinking that they are a repository of information. If I don't know the answer to a question, I will say I don't know it, or I'll endeavour to find out. I might even have an opinion on some things, which horrifies some people. But some of these newer, younger influencers, as they like to call themselves, are not really helping either themselves or the sort of repository or library of information that you can find out things in Thailand. Somebody saying during the week, well, you can now buy property in Thailand, including villas, and own it with a title. Where do they get that information? Let's get through your comments. I never misbehave except when I do, says Fun-Sized Media. Brett Border, good evening from Vancouver Island. Looking forward to this discussion. Thank you, Brett. Acorn57, misbehave here in the Philippines and you're deported quick smart, especially vloggers not doing the right thing. There was one big case of a vlogger, maybe 2 years ago, Acorn57, who was sort of entrapping Filipinos in situations and sort of almost blackmailing them into, I can't remember the exact thing, but he got kicked out of the country. Trip on this says, g'day to Tim. G'day from windy Gladstone in central Queensland, nice part of the world. Morning, Tim from Pattaya via Melbourne. This is the Mark Hopper. ESC Chris M, good morning from Jom TM. It looks beautiful down in Panga. Tim, it is a beautiful day here. We've had beautiful weather for the past 4 months. The beep you can hear in the background is the washing machine. It'll stop in a moment, I hope. We've had just spots of rain over the past 3 nights, sort of a summer storm coming in from the east, which is a bit odd. But it lasts for about 5 minutes. The rain drops its guts on the lawns and the garden, so we don't have to get out the next day. Shut up! Whole lot of moxie. Hi, Tim. Great to see you alive and well. Yeah, I'm alive. I must admit we were worried something had happened to you or Steve. Yeah, we're sorry about Grumpy Old Men last week. It's on me. I rang up Steve or contacted him on Saturday night saying, I'm sorry, I'm just overwhelmed. I just need a break. Just a lot of people contacting us, not problems, but people saying, hey, look, I need this or I need that, or could you book this, or I'm wanting to organise a tour, could you give me some information? And a lot of it was complicated by the fact that we had this Turtle Festival on, which is a sort of a major interruption to sort of the peace of this area, and we had to manage quite a lot of issues related to the festival. But hopefully, I haven't spoken to Steve today about tomorrow, but pretty sure we'll be getting together for a catch-up. We might make it a especially long program. I've got lots of things to talk to him about. Just barely escaped out of Bangkok back to Sydney, says Pat Thai. I don't think there's any problems from Bangkok to Australia. I booked some flights, I'm glad to say, a couple of weeks ago before the prospect of airfares going up was going to be staring people in the face. Kenny G is famous for playing the saxophone, not the oboe. Ah, yes. It was a soprano saxophone. I think he also played the oboe. He played concerts in Thailand many times over the years. Yes, he is very popular. I think he was here last year, I mentioned at the time. Not really my vibe, but he had a few very popular instrumental hits. Pretty hard to get up onto a stage with a saxophone, soprano sax, and entertain a crowd for a couple of years, couple of hours. But apparently he does that, and people are very happy to sit down. At least it's not ballet or the opera. Timothy Chalamet. Why did you say that? There goes your Oscar. We'll talk about that in the program tomorrow as well. Question from the Wu-Tang Life. A question: after these Farang get prosecuted, serve time in jail and pay fines, do they get banned from entering Thailand again, or are they free to come back if they want? Anybody who is serves any time in jail would probably be black banned from Thailand for a short time or a long time. People who get into a scuffle, get into a fight, but sort it out the next morning, hands are shaken, compensations paid, they usually don't suffer any long-term consequences. Be interested to hear any other people's examples on that particular matter. Wu-Tang, I believe, if guilty, they get banned from Thailand for a period of time. Yeah, there's a sort of a set scale on the amount of time you get banned for different things, for overstays. But I think when it comes to violence, they sort of measure up that level of violence and ban you for a number of years accordingly. The ones I do not understand, this is Bill G. Hi, Bill. Are the ones that get naked in public. I assume that some drugs are involved, but what drug does that to a person? Yes, getting fully naked is generally fairly rare and very much frowned upon in Thailand. But if you're marching around with your shirt top off, firstly, you better have a body that gets away with it, and that really is very few of the people who end up taking their shirts off. The ones who take their shirts off are usually the ones who shouldn't. That's like an F1 car. When visiting those places myself, I haven't come across any of this, but I also do tend to not be out late at night. Yeah, look, have I seen some of these incidents? I've probably seen one or two incidents over the years, one in Patong and one in Pattaya. I mean, they're the places you're going to see it. We did have a bit of biffo here in Tai Muang Beach a few years ago that somebody caught on camera. But those people have shown the incident, they've talked about the incident, they've owned the incident, and thumbs up to them. But it only becomes a talking point if it's on camera. If it's, I was in Pattaya the other day and I saw it, no one's going to read it, no one's going to pass that on. If it's not on camera, people aren't interested. I just get out the popcorn and watch, says Fun Size Media. I don't like watching violence. I'm very anti-violence. I don't like watching MMA. I don't like watching Thai kickboxing. What's it called? Muay Thai. God, brain's gone this morning. I'm out of practice talking on the camera. That's what it is. So, yeah, I don't like seeing any depictions of violence. That's just a personal thing. But when I see it on my feed, I just sort of scroll through to the next one. But I was getting just hundreds of them, one after the other. So I thought, well, how do I get out of this loop? So I sort of reset my Instagram. I closed it and opened it up again, and it was just feeding me the same stuff. So I'm just going to stay off my Instagram for a few days, and I'll start watching cat videos again. See if that sort of modifies my algorithm again. Any pets making appearance today on your famous program? Asked Pad Thai. Are there any pets around? Any pets? Hello? Daisy? Dina? Dusty? DJ? They've been around. Took Daisy over the road for a walk. We'll see if they turn up. You live in the Punga region, not Punga itself. Ya Mung Bean. That's from Ming Ming. Yeah, I live in Punga, the Punga province. Mung Bean. 12 bore Tommy. It's not just the Thais getting sick of it. I'm from the UK and sick of the low-life Farangs that act that way too. Yeah, how'd you like the one when the two guys were fighting and another guy running around behind them, sort of all getting horny watching these guys fight and throwing the beer at them? What the hell? Therefore, you actually live in La La Land, says Ming Ming. Oh, Ming Ming has got it in for me today. Question, has anybody done a runner on one of your rental properties yet? No. They all pay ahead of time. So if they do a runner or they don't turn up, not my problem. Everybody pays before the door is open. So I haven't had any problems like that. I haven't had any thefts. Did have a breakage. We checked some people out at 5:30 this morning to head to their flight, and just moving their suitcases around the house, getting out of the property, they knocked over a lamp. I said, don't worry about compensation, write me a 5-star review. They said, we were going to write you a 5-star review anyway. Maybe I should have gone for the compensation. Rationing of petrol is happening in Thailand now, says Sex Cells. Went to fill up in Isan yesterday and was told I could only get 500 baht of fuel. I drive an electric car, so a lot of this is passing me by. I went up to fill my motorcycle about 10 days ago. I only fill it up about once every 3 or 4 weeks. And there was a 5-minute queue, but Thais were panic buying in the first couple of days, but that settled right down. I think the Thai government has done a lot of good publicity saying, don't worry, we've got plenty of fuel. Thank you, Sex Cells. Audra Rodriguez, good morning, Tim. Greetings from Hua Hin. Would it be possible for you to post a short clip of your visit to the coffee festival? Okay, I'll do that. I might do it and we'll show it on Grumpy Old Men tomorrow. It's a beautiful part of Punga. Yes, it is. Could you tell that to Ming Ming, by the way? That'd be great. Thank you. Have a great weekend. The Wu-Tang life. Thai immigration needs to do a better job of not letting criminals into the country. The entry requirements are way too easy. That's why there are so many bad apples. Okay, that's an interesting thing. I mean, if somebody has their passport scanned and there's no information in the system talking about a criminal record, then how do the Thai government know? It's sort of on their country to put that information into a website that Thai government would be able to find out. I don't know. I don't know how all that works. But it's an interesting situation. If you have a criminal record, should you be allowed into the country? Back in the 1700s, if you were caught in the UK stealing a loaf of bread, you got a free boat trip to Australia, which wasn't called Australia at the time, but it was a prison colony. And, ended up a pretty harsh life and a pretty harsh penalty. I think the boat trip was the major penalty. Okay, comment from Bryce. Hi, Bryce. Can't see that. Okay, I did that one. Let's go back to some more. I'm sure Ming Ming will arc up again. Ty Draper. There are much nicer places to see other than the ones that start with P. Now, that's a good point, and I keep on saying, just get out of the tourist hotspots, or as some people call them, the tourist ghettos. For some reason, I think there is a subset of people that just like chasing trouble, just like getting drunk, just like getting into a bit of biffo, and they wake up the next day and think that was a good night. But yeah, there is plenty of other places in Thailand to go. If you're looking to try and get away from any of these sort of scuffles, then there's plenty of other great places in Thailand. I mean, I've discovered this beach, which is very quiet, very Thai. You can go down to the beach even in the high season and you'll have the beach pretty much to yourself all day. Okay, it's not the best beach in Thailand. It's got quite a steep approach to the water, so not a good place for the kids to play in the shallows. We don't really have those shallows. But otherwise, it's a fantastic place. So I found my little Shangri-La. I found my little corner of peace in this crazy world. And you can do that too. You just have to do a little bit of research on the internet. And rather than book that trip to Pattaya, to Phuket, to wander through the Sukhumvit shopping centres, to go and stay in Chiang Mai and ride an elephant, or go to Pai and get high, there are plenty of other much more interesting things to do in Thailand. Down here in the south, for example, there are hundreds of tropical islands and fantastic opportunities to get out to those islands. And this time of the year, it's much quieter than the peak of the high season. So yeah, just get out of those P's, Pattaya, Pai, Patpong, Patong, Phuket, and find other parts of Thailand where you're not going to find so many tourists, and in many cases not find as many rowdy tourists. If you've got some of those places you'd like to recommend, I think a few years ago people would have said Hua Hin was a place which was a lot less touristy. That I think has changed. The more you read about Hua Hin being less touristy and a great place to go and a great place to retire, of course it's ended up much, much busier. That's the way things go these days. Good evening, Tim. And all this is from Dwight Asani. Nice to catch you live, 7:30 p.m. in California. Would rather be in Phuket. I've had some very good times in California over the years. If I was living in the US, that's the state I would live in. Got some good friends there too. Are they not a fan of Tolkien's characters? Are they not a fan of Tolkien's characters? Okay. It's a little bit deep for me. I read Lord of the Rings and everything, but there you go. Lord of the Rings. Okay, it's gone over my head. Dildo Bag and Stuart Lavelle, be careful, you'll get reported. What we're talking about. Animal UFO. Well, that's an original handle for your profile. In case anyone cares, I just landed in Bangkok and immigration barely looked at me. Not a single question. She just stamped my passport with 60 days and said welcome. I think that's the case in 99% of the cases. The only ones we hear about are where people get rejected and they feel they were rejected for the wrong reasons and want to share that with the world. But if you get stamped in and they don't ask you any questions, they smile at you and say, welcome, you're not going to post that on your social media. So all I can say to you, Animal UFO, is thank you for posting. I know it sounds mundane, but your situation, I'm sure, is the vast majority of tourists entering Thailand. It's stressful to go to Thailand in the immigration point. Here's a contrary opinion. This is from Mark Pereira. I cancelled my trip, even with people starting feeling the it. Even with people starting feeling the it. Okay. A bit stressful reading your post. Have another go at that, Mark. I'll be happy to read it out. Klaus says, here since 14 years, never had any issues with Thai people, but several with psycho phalangs. Phalangs, I don't like the term phalang. There must be more screening at the borders. It's just not possible to implement that as a tourist place. Yeah, again, we are talking about, small number of people. There are a few crazy Farangs, a few crazy foreigners living in this town. There were a few crazy foreigners living where I lived in Phuket that I sort of, got to know or know about. And I just avoid them. I mean, you just leave them alone, as long as they're not causing you trouble. Steve is not one of them, by the way. Okay, just to make that clear. There's a similar backlash going on in Japan at the moment, says Whole Lot of Moxie. One idiot called Johnny Somali, oh yes, was hated by other Western YouTubers in Japan who felt he was giving them a bad name. Yeah, I mean, there are plenty of YouTubers who are posting bullshit every day and giving other YouTubers a bad name. I've only started sort of firing back recently, not because I feel that the YouTube community is being slighted. There's no such thing really as a YouTube community. We don't get together on Sundays and sing Kumbaya or anything. But there are that are just posting rubbish. So I'm fact-checking them. And I think as an older, wiser, more experienced, in some cases more knowledgeable YouTuber, maybe that's something I should do. I just hate seeing misinformation posted online and other people going, oh, thanks for telling me, to the YouTuber that's been posting the rubbish or the misinformation. And who's going to do it? Who is going to tell the people watching these videos that some of the information they've been told is just clearly wrong? I don't really like doing it, but and I do it with my profile, my name, not trying to hide behind a fake profile like many people. Hi Tim, how's the coffee today? Well, this is water. Number one hasn't brought me a coffee today. But I'll be going over to the Music and Coffee Festival. I'll probably go later in the morning so we can have a little bit of lunch there. Looked like there was going to be some food and lots of good coffee there, and perhaps some nice music as well. Cy Wolfie says, also love your channel, thank you. Fun Size Media, even Steve Ross was caught on video misbehaving. I think I referred to that obliquely. M.W. Jackson, how did we miss all this when visiting Thailand? Marvin Savannah, how did we miss all this when visiting Thailand? When were you visiting? If you were here from March the 1st to the 10th, you would not have missed the Turtle Festival. There were thousands of people down. There were traffic jams. There were people urinating. They didn't provide public toilets. I mean, what a mess. Anyway, I think a lot of people did enjoy themselves and the noise and the 300 food stalls and the mango shakes. Animal UFOs back again. That's all normal. For all the money this brings people, these people bring to Thailand, a few bad apples are insignificant when you do the math. That probably needs to be said. Yeah, it's something that just saturates social media, but it's a very minor problem. I mean, if I post a picture of myself sitting on the beach by myself with a cup of coffee, just enjoying the ambience and the quiet, no one's going to want to watch that video. If there's 2 or 3 foreigners punching each other's lights out in a street in Pattaya, they'll want to watch that. It's human nature. But yeah, they're such a small proportion, and are we going to let that subset, that tiny subset of foreigners, cause problems for all the good people that want to come to Thailand and spend money? Thank you, Animal UFO. Pad Thai, may I ask, is it business or pleasure regarding the next visit to Maroochydore? Pad Thai, it's a combination of both. I'm going to a conference. It's a conference I worked on in Australia for 14 years. It's an ophthalmological conference. That's why I know so much about eye surgery. I sat and watched hundreds and hundreds of videos of eye surgery. The first time it's but you get used to it after a while. So I had my cataracts done about 5 years ago now, and had multifocal lenses put in, and I've got perfect eyesight from here all the way to the horizon, to infinity. So it certainly worked for me, and I would highly recommend my cataract surgery with the multifocal lenses. Worked very well in my case. Thank you for asking. So the reason I'm going up there is the person who's continued running that conference for the next 15 years and I worked with for the 14 years before. So she's been doing it for 29 years, asked me to go to the conference this year because it's her last conference. So I'm going as a guest, saying hello to a lot of old friends. So it's sort of business and pleasure all rolled into one. Number one's coming with me. And it's Maroochydore on the Sunshine Coast. At the Novotel Twin Palms or something or other. Tim, I'll be back in your neck of the woods in 10 days, says Dan67 Pan. Great, we look forward to seeing you back. Bryce says, interesting to see on a booking site there is a naturist naked hotel resorts in Bangkok and Pattaya. But of course it's okay being done in private for those who need to get all their gear off. Yeah, there's no such thing as nude beaches in Thailand as far as I know. You'd think that a remote beach like this one, this is the longest beach in Thailand out the front, 22 kilometres long. Never seen any nudists, none who've made it obvious, parading their stuff around the beach. But interesting to see on a booking site there are naked hotel resorts. That floats your boat. Go for it. It says Thailand CIB, Central Investigation Bureau, accused Ben Smith, also identified in news reports as South African Ben Malberger. Yes, that's true. He's been summoned. An arrest warrant has been issued for Mr. Ben Smith, also known as Benjamin Malberger, in relation to the Cambodian scam centres. And I think police would like to sit him down and ask a few questions. And there are also some Thai politicians from one particular party who are being investigated for their links with Mr. Benjamin Malberger as well. And nothing more to say on that because that's not really the topic, except I acknowledge Zeit Punkt, your comment, and thank you very much for making it. And his wife, Catalia Bivor of cross-border investment fraud dating back to 2016, a close associate to Taxon and family. That's your allegation. Thank you for that one. Don't fall for the rage bait posts, Tim. Oh, I love it. People are fucked, says Upside 50/50. It's sort of a generalism, really, isn't it? Me? Am I included in this? Are you included in that? You're a person. The Apache, I wish the Thai authorities would start kicking out shitty YouTubers who spread misinformation about the country, yet spend all their time there shit-talking Thailand and monetising misinformation. Now, if you've got a valid criticism to make about Thailand, I've had my occasions to do so in the past, I'll do so within the bounds of not defaming anybody and hopefully backing it up with some facts or at least reasonable debate, and then leaving it open for people to make a contrary opinion. I've had zero problems with Thai law or Thai police over my 15 years in Thailand, and 8 or 9 of them working at the front of different news organisations. So, but there are people who just like posting fake rubbish that is very clickbaity, and it is both misinformation, it's libelous, and they should be convicted and kicked out of Thailand. But they sort of slip under the radar, don't they? You and Fiesco da Gama are good examples of how social media can still be respectful of other cultures and create a positive impression. I try. Fiesco da Gama. I have seen some of his work. I can't remember. I think he was a sort of an older gentleman like me who sort of wandered down the street sort of talking about his impressions or his experiences. Check him out. But thank you very much, Andy Hoyle. Never say never. Can you eat the turtles? No. The Turtle Festival is about as much about turtles as the Vegetarian Festival is about vegetarian food. You will see some turtle releases, but if you blink, you'll miss it. And there's a parade on the first day, which went for about 5 minutes this year. And we do see some turtles, some very, very big turtles. the 2 years before this year, our friend Steve Ross, with an E, participated in the parade with turtles he built and were spectacular. But that's really about it. Otherwise, it's music, sort of fast food, and people peeing behind the tents. I'd like to watch a video of peace and calm, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, says Confucius says. Maybe I'll post just some of the waves hitting the shore here from the Andaman Sea to the Timor coast. Or as Ming Ming likes to call it, the Pangar coast. Good morning, Tim and everyone, says Corey Jackson. Hi, Corey. Confucius says, I'd like to... Foreigners behaving badly, says Chusky. What about the lady boys? What about not having traffic laws that are followed? All these things could be looked at. Sure. A very good point. Lady boys behaving badly, scams generally in Thailand. 5 minutes on the internet doing a bit of research about the country you're visiting will save you any embarrassment with some of these scams. A lot of the lady boys are involved in scams, but are easily avoided. Not having traffic laws that are followed. Police sometimes turn a blind eye, people not wearing helmets. Thailand just operates at its own rhythm, but that's fair criticism. I'm not really sure you're trying to counter the discussion about foreigners behaving badly. Okay, I get it. How is the night vision, asks Sleeve Velicium. The night vision. Okay, a fair point. When you have multifocal lenses, your night vision is not as good as it was before. I'm talking maybe about 10% off peak. Not driving at night time, zero problem, no problem at all. There were some halos in the early days, but I got used to them very, very quickly. They're not a deal breaker. I can drive at night without any problems. But if I'm trying to read a little bit later at night, I will certainly try. If I'm on the phone or on the iPad, I'll increase the light level. It does make it a lot sharper and easier for me to see. So if you have multifocal lenses, it will usually cut down your night vision by a percentage. In my case, I think it's about 5 or 10%. But given that all but the sort of the dimmest, darkest light is 100%. As I said, I can read on my phone from here, 30 centimetres. That's a bit dodgy. Yeah, from 30 centimetres to infinity, 100%. Is it easy for your boyfriend to get a visa to Australia? We'll soon find out. We've booked the tickets. I think the term should be partner. I think we're many, many years past the term boyfriend. It's fan, Tim, not pan. Oh, I'm sorry. Danny Fan says it's fan. Oh, I'm just thinking of Phuket is PH. It's pronounced Phuket. So apologies, Dan Fan. How is the enforcement of the latest Harassment Act going? Well, that's sort of worth talking about. I don't know if it's enforced yet. It was passed, maybe a month ago. I think it takes 90 days before it becomes law. But fair comment and something we should look at when it sort of comes to the top of the pile. We'll do a few more, just past 10. Thailand is systematically corrupt in many, many ways. Most recently, my Thai wife was offered money to vote in a particular way, her and everyone she knows in the village. We reported that widely. Vote buying is very upfront and very in your face in Thailand. Vote buying exists in a lot of other so-called democratic countries, and don't tell me it doesn't. So, but it is very, very much in your face. The thing is that sort of everybody does it to an extent, so it sort of evens itself out. But yeah, it is technically illegal. It does happen, but it's really in your face and out and about and proud here in Thailand. But it's, yeah, I don't generally see it as a big problem in Thailand because sort of everybody does it. The corruption is sort of out there for everybody to see. But fair question. G'day, how's the fuel cost at the moment? It's $3.17 at Winton in Queensland. $3 a litre. I suppose that's a lot. I think it's about 25 baht a litre at the moment here in Thailand. You'll have to do the maths yourself. Bryce with a comment there, could be a place for naturist beaches, for a naturist house, beach house at Turtle Beach. You could corner the market with your 7th beach house and with much less need for washing clothes there. Look, what people do in the beach houses is none of my business, really. We don't have cameras in the beach houses. We don't have security cameras at the front either. So I'm sure there are some things happening in the beach houses from time to time that I probably don't want to know about. They can take their clothes off and walk around. I couldn't care less. Sleeveless in Siam. Just got here. Did I hear... oh, God. By multifocal, do you mean one eye has a distance lens? No. And the other eye has reading lens inserted? No, Dwight. What it means is that they're multifocal lenses. They've got 3 planes of focus built into the lens. I mean, it's a tiny, tiny thing. I don't know how they make them, but it's got 3 different planes of focus within the same lens, close, medium, and distance. That's about all I can tell you. Do some research. But no, what you're talking about is called monovision, where they engineer one eye a bit short vision and the other eye a bit longer vision with 2 different prescription lenses. Some people cope well with that. I tried monovision. I didn't cope with it at all. So we opted for the multifocal lenses, and they are excellent, not cheap. Just got here. Did I hear Tim has a male partner? Duh. Nudist beach is so 1980s. Yeah, I think we heard a lot more about it in those days. Where did you get your eyes done? I got my eyes done in Phuket at the Bright Eye Centre. Bright Vision Centre. Bright Eye Centre, I think it's called. Dr. Captain, make an appointment for a consultation. I think the consultation is free. They'll do some basic checks on your eyes and they'll advise you accordingly. They took a lot of care, did a lot of tests. It didn't hurt at all. Not even mild discomfort. It was completely painless, given that they are cutting your eye and sucking out your old lens and inserting in a new one. Nothing. I mean, the thought of it is perhaps painful. And having to pay, I think it was 180,000 baht for the 2 eyes. That was a bit painful. But the actual surgery, not painful at all. Have a good weekend, says Pat Ty. Everyone, see you guys tomorrow at the Grumpy Old Men. Yes. I can't help but notice that your profile is strikingly similar to the singer of Midnight Oil. I just hope you're a better dancer. Peter Garrett. I was also in the Rudd government, and I think also the what's the name of the lady? I forget her name. I think he was part of her government as well. He was a senator for the Labor government in the environment portfolio. Midnight Oil, great Australian band. Wow, that's interesting, Tim, as we all have a dominant eye. So I had monovision with LASIK. Okay. Night driving can be an issue and my short vision has deteriorated again, but I was warned it would happen. Yeah, Bright View Centre, says Sleeveless in Siam. Bright View Centre. Yeah, it's either Bright Eyes or Bright View Centre. It's based at the Bangkok Hospital, Phuket. Dr. Captain, he's the one. There's a video somewhere in the past where I do an hour-long interview with Dr. Captain. If you type in Tim Newton, Dr. Captain, cataract surgery, it'll probably come up in your YouTube feed. Thanks for watching today. Have a fantastic Saturday. I might see some of you at the Coffee and Music Festival here over the road. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow with Steve and Grumpy Old Men. And apologies for not doing the show last week, but sometimes business takes precedent. Also, if you'd like to come to Thailand and experience this magnificent beach, you can go to, what's the website? beachhousethailand.com. beachhousethailand.com. Over to you. See you next time, and thank you very much for watching.